Welcome to the Fill Your Cups podcast. We're your hosts, Morgan
and Morgan,
which is kind of funny because today we have Morgan Kurtz on with us. She has been on a bonus book club episode before.
Yes.
With me and Bailey, but if you listened to last week's episode, you know that Bailey is on podcast maternity leave at the moment.
And we miss her.
But I just know she's soaking up her time with her baby girl, who we've both gotten to meet at this point.
Yes, and then we're both obsessed because she's so cute.
Yes, and we're
perfect
and
little
we're
baby.
Aunt Morgan.
That's true.
Yeah, and so so Morgan offered to come on and talk about something that we're both really passionate about, which is staying active. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Before we get into that, what is filling your cup, Morgan?
My cup is filled with this delicious fall cider mocktail that you made for us.
Heck
it's
yeah.
really good, very refreshing.
Yes,
we do a little cheers.
Yes, I made this for us because Morgan was so kind to come on as a guest with me and be my sub co-host for today's episode. So we went with a mocktail, and it's very similar. I can't remember which episode it was, but last year Bailey and I had an apple cider spritz type of cocktail that we drank, and this year we just kind of did a mocktail. I'm pretty sure it's a similar version to that, but it's got apple cider. The recipe calls for champagne, but I did non-alcoholic champagne. It's that free FRE brand. And then just some sparkling water, and there's a cinnamon stick and some apple slices for garnish just to make it pretty.
It's really good. It's very crisp, very cinnamony, and it tastes exactly like fall. Even though it's not fall weather yet, we can pretend.
Yes. You know what? I hadn't even taken a sip until just now, but oh my gosh, it does feel like crisp fall.
It does. It's so crisp.
It makes me feel like it's cooler outside than it actually is.
Yeah.
And with the cinnamon stick, I feel like you get that whiff of cinnamon before you drink it.
It's really good. Make this at home.
Yes, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I will definitely post it on our Instagram at Fill Your Cups Podcast so you can have the recipe because it was pretty easy to whip together. You just have to have a few ingredients. So anyway, so we always do a shout out. Do you want to go ahead and do the shout out?
We have to.
Yeah.
So the first one, we're going to shout out baby Mila. Bam, 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 bam. And Bailey for being such a trooper with that. It's been a lot. And we love her.
Yeah.
We love both of them.
Yes, we love them both. And little baby Mila Rose is just perfect.
And she is so cute. She's so I will forgive Bailey because Mila was on also me and Cooper's name list. And me and Bailey, like 2 or 3 years ago at her birthday, we were talking about baby names, and we both figured out we like Mila.
I remember that.
And they stole it. They got to it before us. That's okay. I'm okay with it.
That's okay. When you guys have kids, I'm sure that you'll have names that you fall in love with just as much.
They only had Mila and Vera, is what she was saying. There's only 2 that they agreed on. So
right.
It's only 2. You can have it. It's okay.
Also, you can have 2 of the same name in the same family.
That's true.
We get just as confused.
Baby Mila will have 2 Aunt Morgans and 2 Aunt Jordans, so she's gonna be real confused. And 2 of her aunts are twins, so she's gonna be real confused when she grows up.
Confused. So you know what? Might as well give her a cousin named Mila too.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Kidding. Just kidding.
Our other shout out will be my husband Cooper.
Aww.
I want to shout him out because today's episode is about being active, and I've been super busy with like running and weightlifting and whatever lately, and so he's taking a lot of extra responsibilities around the house. He will get my post-run drink for me. He'll make sure I have a snack right after, and he'll track me like up my location while I'm running, make sure like nothing happens.
Oh, that's key.
So yeah, I love you. Thank you for supporting me in my run journey.
Shout out Cooper.
Yeah, shout you out.
It takes a lot to start getting active and staying active, and a big part of that is the support around you.
Definitely, yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that in the episode.
He'll also be my support in the race, because you know when you do races, like you have to have somebody like give you your refuel and to like pick you up and whatever.
Oh my gosh,
so
no, I didn't know that.
He'll be able to like check in at different miles and stuff. So that'll be nice.
Okay, the furthest I've ever ran is a 5K.
Okay, yeah.
And I just went by myself.
Yeah, 5Ks are less like intense, but yeah, anything like longer, you need a bit more. So
that's awesome. Well, shout out to Cooper. Before we get into our episode all about staying active, and really what we want to do is give you some foundations where you can start with if you're not active already and you're wanting to get active, just some places to start and where the best place to start is. And then also some really small tips and ways that you can get movement in everyday life, even if you are not necessarily formulating a structured like workout plan or something like that. Just ways that you can get and stay active in your everyday life, little habits you can implement. But before we do that, I do want to remind people to please, if you're listening on Spotify, you can leave us a rating. Hopefully it's 5 stars. If you're not going to give us 5 stars, just don't leave a rating. If you're on Apple, please leave us a review because reviews go the furthest way on Apple. And then if you are watching on YouTube, please leave a comment. Morgan's a great example of this because she comments on our YouTube videos.
I love watching on YouTube.
Yes, thank you. And whenever we get comments and, new subscribers and things like that, people find us more easily. And I have been seeing that quite a bit on YouTube, less so on Apple and Spotify. But either way, whichever method you're listening to right now, please go do it right now. And if you're like, I don't know what to say, or I don't know what to leave for a review, you know what? Just text me and I'll write it for you. And then you can copy and paste it.
Just comment on this one. Morgan, you look beautiful. And we'll assume it's for both of us.
Yeah, we'll just be like, yeah, that's for me. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's kind of like the housekeeping, I guess, for the day. So let's go ahead and get into this. So usually Bailey and I start with how we thought of this episode, and you and I were messaging back and forth, and Bailey and I kind of have a running list of ideas. We don't always go off those. Sometimes if there's something relevant, like when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged, we threw that in there, but we pick episodes often from this running list, and one of them is just kind of easy ways to stay active in your everyday life, and that one stuck out to you. So we have had episodes where we've talked about body image, or we've talked about, weight loss and that sort of thing. But we've never really, I guess, done a how-to or given advice on how to just like generally stay active in your everyday life. And recently, I mean, you're very active and I'm pretty active, but we're active in very different ways.
Yes.
And more recently, we've been doing kind of like family 5Ks.
Yep.
That your brother, yeah. So
Bailey's husband.
Yes. So Mason initiated this. He's Bailey's husband, Morgan's brother, my brother-in-law. And we've been getting together, and it's kind of been growing, which has been fun.
Yeah, it has.
Including different people in the family. And so just with that coming up, I know running's like your main form of exercise, but you do other things too. And then I also kind of change up exercise. So it seemed like a fun episode for us to chat about and maybe give our perspective on and help people out with just little ways that we implement activity into our everyday lives.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. We also, Morgan and I are getting into our flow, but we also usually talk about why this impacts life and why it's important, because obviously why are you going to keep listening to this episode if you don't know why it matters? And I think at the forefront, most people know that being active is important
for your physical health.
Yes. But there are so many other things that it helps besides just making you feel and look your best. It helps with mental health. It helps with sleep. It helps with stress. People overall are just, mood stability is huge. It can really regulate a lot of things for you. And so that's why it's important to talk about.
Yeah, I would say like it's pretty obvious that like walking or running or lifting or whatever does things for your physical health. But I would say I get more benefit on the mental side. Like if I am stressed from a bad day at work or whatever is going on, like I feel like a run or a walk or some kind of activity gets me in a better headspace where I'm away from that. I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah.
And I'm focused on like putting one foot in front of the other. And at the end of it, you just have this like mood boost from like getting outside, getting some sun, getting your blood pumping. Like it does so much for you mentally too.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't recognize that as much.
Well, and isn't that a physiological thing? Like, don't you release endorphins and you get a boost of serotonin or whatever? And so it literally is impacting your brain health.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like it's really, really important, and more so than just like, oh, you need to start an exercise routine so that you can lose weight. Like, that's not what we're talking about here.
No.
We're talking about ways to implement in your life so that you overall just feel good in your life.
Like, you're improving your overall health and well-being.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is not a weight specific anything. This
not
is just
at all.
A general one.
Not at all, which kind of is a good lead into where we wanted to start. So I know that you had some really good points about finding what active looks like for you and figuring out what your motivation is.
Yeah, so I would say like I just knew like a few years ago I was kind of struggling like mentally, especially with like seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to get outside a little bit more, and it kind of just started with walking and like getting more sun on your face. It's actually really important for seasonal affective disorder. So it just kind of started with that, and that's what worked for me, but what works for me is not going to be the same thing that works for everybody. Some people do not find walking or running or being outside fun. Like, my husband hates being outside, like, unless it's super cool. So, like, it just depends on what you find fun and what your kind of motivation is. Like, for a lot of people, weightlifting, running, that kind of stuff is sort of the traditional form of exercise. But what's becoming more popular, and I think this is really fun, is less traditional forms of exercise. So like for instance, pickleball is super big and people love pickleball, or like dancing. Like I know there's a really popular guy on YouTube who makes like workout videos to pop songs, and like you can follow along in your living room. So it's like there's so many different things you can do. It does not have to be what people think of as traditional forms of exercise. Like whatever gets your body moving and like you can have fun with, it's going to be something you stick to way easier than like, oh my God, I have to run because I want to like lose weight and I need to do all this cardio. Like if you hate running, that's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So.
I actually just watched, have you seen the Biggest Loser documentary that's on Netflix?
I've heard about it.
So I just watched it recently, and that was one thing. They did a shit ton of cardio on that. But the majority of the contestants that go on there and lose a bunch of weight end up gaining it back. And it's a lot of it is because they focus a lot on really unsustainable forms of physical fitness and then also like starvation. But we're not really talking much about diet and nutrition on this episode, but that is something we both care about too. But when it came to physical activity, it was just one of those things where like they would be doing hours and hours of cardio, and that's just not sustainable. So finding something that works for you is key. I feel like when you're starting a routine or just wanting to get back into it. You know, it's funny. I just recently picked up Just Dance again.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking at my watch, and I don't know how many steps it was in that setting, but by the end of it, like I think I played 20 or 30 minutes of Just Dance, and I had like 20,000 steps that day.
I believe it, yeah.
because I was like going, and I was honestly like breaking a sweat.
Yeah. Do like, we fit if that's what's fun? Like, you just gotta find something that works for you. And with the Biggest Loser point, I would highly encourage anyone who's like considers themselves not active like right now. I would highly encourage you not to set a weight goal. If your goal is just to be more active, I would say separate the weight from it and just figure out what your goal is. Like, do you want to be able to run a mile without stopping? Do you want to be able to hike to the nosebleeds of Arrowhead Stadium? Because that is a freaking chore. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it does.
Or, you know,
you did that recently.
I did do that recently. And actually I did a lot better. I was watching all these other people like huff and puff. Like, yeah, dude, it's rough.
Tough, yeah.
So I would say just like figure out what your goals are based around movement and try to keep that separate from weight. And just focus on moving your body. Yeah,
it's good if you can separate it at first, and then if you do want to start targeting weight loss or something like that, like already having that mentally separate is going to be helpful. Now, we don't have to get into weight loss because we all know like that should not be the end goal. It's all about health, overall health.
Yeah. I will say what really worked for me is I got a free Fitbit from work. And I was literally just like, I'm going to go on a run and I'm just going to see. I'm not going to like set a time goal. I'm not going to set a distance goal. I'm just going to like see what it's like. And I played soccer in high school, so I've always been like somewhat active, but like was trying to find that again as an adult. So yeah, I just went out. No expectations for how far I was going to run or how fast I was going to run. And I actually surprised myself because I ended up running like 2 or 3 miles without stopping. That had been like, it had been years since I had run a mile. So
that's impressive.
I would just say like, you might surprise yourself. Like it might be fun and like exciting to challenge yourself, or like, and don't set any limits or any goals or anything. Just see what you can do. And that's a great way to just start.
Yeah. I think that for me, so one of my first points or like tips, I guess, and you guys will be shocked because we never talk about routines or habits on here. But one of my first things was finding getting a routine going. And that was key for me. And I will say that in the past, I had many failed attempts where I thought that I needed to become a runner. Like I needed to start running. And every time in the past, whenever I was like, okay, I'm going to start getting physically active, I'm going to start running each day, whatever, it just never lasted more than a few days because first of all, there are muscles in your body that you flex whenever you're running and like you tense up when you're running that get sore that you don't ever use during the rest of the day. It's really, really tough on your body, especially if you don't have good form, especially if you don't have good shoes. I mean, it just is, it is not for everybody, especially to start.
Yes.
And I always failed whenever I started with that. But whenever I eventually found a routine that I could do from home, and it was 20 or 30 minutes, which to me mentally at the time, like when you have no routine going, being like, okay, I can do 20 minutes in my living room, that feels attainable to me.
Yes.
And so I think like now I've gotten to a part, like I've kind of evolved in my fitness journey to where now getting out and running a few miles or whatever is not crazy to me. It's actually can be fun and it's like social and whatnot. And that was never the case before. So I feel like when you start, that's especially where you need to start with is finding something that you like and then something that's also attainable and sustainable.
Yes. That's why I think you talked about this before, but I think digestion walks or your hot girl walk or whatever you want to call it is such a great starting point because most people are starting from their couch, right? Like they have no current activity that they're performing. Like just get outside, walk a mile over your lunch break. It'll probably take like 20 minutes.
Yes.
It's very low impact, but it has so much benefit. Like walking has almost the same benefits for your heart in terms of cardio as running. Obviously, you're not hiking your heart rate as high with running, but like if walking is still really, really good for you. And I would say that is a key tip as a remote worker. Like I do not have an office I can go into. So I will do walks over lunch. I'll do them after work or before work, whenever I squeeze in time. Sometimes I do multiple walks. Or even like if I have a super long meeting, this is a life. I don't know. Maybe it depends on your job. For me, I will have like hour-long meetings where I don't have to talk. I just have to listen. So I'll bring my laptop downstairs and I have like a little walking pad and I'll just walk and get my steps in while I'm listening to these boring calls. So like, I feel like just finding little ways to sneak in like time during your workday, especially if you work from home, is so important. Whereas somebody like you, where you're walking and you're hustling between different things all day, you're getting way more movement than somebody who works at a desk for 8 hours. So
so my job is kind of half and half, and on days where I'm out in the field, like you were saying, and I'm going from meeting to meeting, or I'm putting out yard signs or something like that, naturally, I'm organically getting some more steps. So people listening to this who might be like nurses or something like that, they might be like that where they have 3 12-hour shifts each week and they are easily going to get to 10,000 steps on those days. But then the other days, so for me, the other days, I am in front of a computer and I'm working from home, and unless I'm intentional, I'm not getting those steps in. And so that might be someone's, like I was saying, who's like a nurse who easily, when you're on your feet at your job, you get your steps in. And then the other days, it's a little bit, you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I only have 3,000 steps. Like that was pretty common for me when I used to have an office job. I would get to the end of my workday and only have like 3,000 steps. And then I'm like, now I have to make all that up in the evening. Like that's crazy. So I feel like once I started the habit of after a meal, as often as I could after a meal, I typically don't after breakfast because I really have to get right to work. But after lunch and after dinner, most of the time, as long as my plans allow for it, I walk for like 15 minutes. And it really does. I mean, first of all, it does wonders for your step count. If you're a numbers person, which I kind of am, I'm very much motivated by data and numbers and goals. But if you're not a numbers person, more than that, it really does actually help digestion and mood. And especially after lunch, I feel like most people, if you go right back to sitting at a desk, you get that afternoon schlump. It kind of alleviates that because it balances your blood sugar. So I feel like walking anytime you can is so good for you. And especially the days where it's not going to be as organic to be hustling and bustling and moving around.
Yes. I would say too, going into the fall winter months, getting that movement in over lunch is so crucial because like it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. Like after work, you're going to be walking in the dark or walking inside. So I would say like getting in the habit of it is important, especially like maybe now going into these months to just start. And like a really easy way to do that is if you have like a fitness tracker, or even if you set an alarm, just set an alarm for 12 and be like, okay, I'm not working through lunch. I'm going to go take my walk.
Yes.
And, you know.
Do you do that? Because I thought you said that you kind of work through lunch.
I do a lot of time because I get meetings scheduled a lot at lunch. And it's really annoying. So then
it's also hard with different time zones.
Jared gets that a lot. Yes. So I'm not as good as I should be. But Cooper's pretty good at taking his lunch walk.
He goes outside.
He does, yeah. When it's not super hot. But no, my Fitbit, I mean, I just switched to a Garmin, but my Fitbit would give me like every hour it would give me like a little reminder to get up and walk.
Yes.
Because again, I sit at a desk for 8 hours and it's just like I find myself just getting stir crazy anyway, just like sitting there. So I do walk a lot.
For sure.
And the life hack is to get a split level because then you're doing stairs like multiple times a day.
That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes like I think you were mentioning you do this too. Like sometimes I just take a little lap around my kitchen or like walk up and down the stairs.
Oh,
or whatever.
I probably look like an insane person.
Yeah. You'll go stir crazy if you just sit at a desk for 8 hours. So
yeah. And I don't have the ability, whenever I have Teams calls, typically like our video really needs to be on. So I don't have as much of an ability to do that. Yeah. But that's how Jared is. They don't really need video on. But I will say that whenever I have a phone call, I do walk around my house. So this is another tip that I have. So if you've never heard of the term habit stacking, first of all, you probably haven't listened to our other habit episodes. Go back and listen to those. I think I wrote them down actually, but in episode 30, implementing habits to get your shit together, we talk a little bit about this. And then episode 60, starting a new habit. These are both, if you want to get more into depth about just actually the nitty gritty of forming a habit, then go listen to those episodes and that can help you apply what we're talking about with staying active and getting into a routine of that. But what I was talking about with habit stacking is where you already do something regularly. So for instance, you already have, let's say that the meeting is every Tuesday morning, you have a 30-minute stand-up or whatever. You don't have to be on video. During that 30-minute stand-up meeting, I'm going to walk on my walking pad or walk around. And maybe your work is not as flexible as that, like I was saying with mine. But when I take phone calls and they don't have to see me, it is now a habit that if I get a phone call, my phone rings while I'm at my house, I immediately stand up and I start walking around my house.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it wasn't so simple as that was just an impulse. Now it's an impulse because it's a habit, but that was something that I did. And it's the same as like, if you do something every day, like, okay, every day I know I'm going to brush my teeth. I really hope you guys do that. But every day I'm going to brush my teeth. Well, how can you stack a habit that you want to do onto the habit that you're already doing?
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before with like affirmations or something. Okay, every day while I brush my teeth, I'm going to repeat an affirmation. This could also be something where you add in something active. Okay, I actually do this. When I brush my teeth, I do 5 laps around my house, assuming that I'm not spinning all over myself. But yeah, I feel like it's a good, I don't know, taking a habit that you already have. So think about something that you already do every day or weekly or something like that. And then stack whatever the active habit is that you want onto it.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like steps around your house. Like me, I kind of do like, all right, when I'm brush my teeth or like wash my face or putting sunscreen on in the morning, I'll stretch my legs while I'm doing it because I know I'm gonna run later.
Oh, smart.
So it'll help. Like sets me up for success.
Gonna get a hip opener while
I usually do like the quad stretch. You pull your leg up.
Yes,
because you can brush with one hand, hold the leg with the other.
I need a picture of you doing that.
I also say with habit stacking, like kind of like a little reward system might help too.
Yeah.
I know, like for me, my habit that I stack is reading. Like I know that sounds psychopathic to some people because when I talk to my friend Marissa who runs, she's like, I could never listen to a book and I have to listen to music. But for me, that's like my me time and I get to like tackle my TBR and listen to a book for like 2 hours on my long run. You know, like I look forward to that. And when I am planning to do longer runs next year, I bought some like mid-tier shoes because I needed new shoes anyway. But when I gear up to run my marathon, I want to get some like nicer shoes. Like it's gonna prove that I can do like commit to a longer race, like doing a half marathon. And before I do the marathon, I can get some nicer shoes. So just doing little rewards can help you too.
Yeah, when I was in my really active Wellness 360 Facebook like accountability group, that was something that my coach, so I did Beachbody or Body before. I mean, I still do body workouts actually. I just don't coach as much. But my coach would always, she did that regularly. Like every time she finished a program, whether it was like a 6-week program or a 3-week program, 5-day program, 7-day program, whatever it was, she, at the end of a program, she would buy herself a new piece of athletic wear. So whether that was just like a $20 Target top or a really nice pair of running shoes or something like that, she was like, okay, I'm going to continue. And I liked that it was something specifically active because it was kind of continuing the journey, the active journey or exercise journey, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I like that so when will you buy those? After
a half marathon.
Well, that kind of leads into one of my biggest tips, which is finding someone to be accountable with. And you've been really good with this lately.
Yes. So I am running a half marathon in the spring with my new friend, Marissa. Woo! Maybe she might be listening to this. I was telling her about it yesterday, so she might be listening.
Send it to her.
Shout out, Marissa.
Shout out, Marissa. Unofficial shout out.
I met her on Bumble BFF, which maybe we'll talk about it some other time. I would highly recommend that if you're looking for people for like similar interests. And like for me, I was specifically looking for a running buddy.
Yeah.
I found her. She's crazy. She's literally running a marathon in like a week.
Wow. So that's awesome. That's the
crazy.
Chicago one?
No, she's running in Minneapolis. It's the Twin Cities Marathon.
Okay.
But she's really cool. We meet every week now on Mondays for Run Club in Olathe. We run 3-4 miles.
So if there's any Olathe girlies that want to go running.
Join the Facebook group. But it was just like really kismet because I just messaged her in Bumble. I was like, oh my God, you're running a marathon. That's so cool. I would love to run a marathon. And I was the type of person who's always like, that's always been like really cool. But I was like,
a stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I think for me, like I never would be self-motivated enough to run a marathon, or it would have been a lot harder if I had to do it by myself because like I'm not as good with structure and like I kind of run for vibes. Like, do I still feel good? And having like a set routine, like, okay, I need to run 20 miles this week. Like Marissa ran 20 miles the other week. And I'm like, it's so crazy. So, but seeing her doing it and seeing how committed she is with it, and like we run at the same pace and we're pretty similar, like people in general. But like it, like I'm like, okay, this is a lot more attainable than it seemed like before. So yeah, we're running a 10K in the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So it'll
perfect timing.
It'll be nice and cool. So that's like 6 miles, and then we'll do a half marathon in spring and a marathon in the fall. So that'll be her second marathon. So yeah, I would say like finding somebody who has like-minded goals to you or is already doing something you want to do, but like you don't know how or like where to start is so important because they're kind of laying the path for you, and you get to just kind of follow. Like,
yeah, you just get to follow their
It's
lead.
a lot less scary than just trying to figure it all out on your own. So
definitely.
And if you have somebody to do something with, you're gonna be way more motivated. Like I will say, our run yesterday, and Marissa did, it was so challenging, and it was so fast, and it was really hilly. Like if I was running that by myself, I would not have done it. I would have quit. Yeah,
it's so much easier to quit on yourself than it is to quit on someone else.
Yes, and you also push yourself way harder when you have somebody else. And even like for somebody like running or working out, like you get to talk and you get to like shoot the bird or whatever and just talk about whatever. Like we were talking about apple picking, like we're in fall activities. So like it makes the time go a lot faster.
I agree. Yeah, and even if it's not you're physically with that person, because I know at the beginning for me, I was in kind of a virtual accountability group, but just seeing people check in each day, like that they did their workouts or they, you know, made a recipe from the nutrition plan or something like that was just encouraging. And I used to listen to this podcaster who was a big entrepreneur, and she talked about this a lot with starting your own business, but in general in life, when if there's something that you kind of sort of want to do, you may kind of sort of do it. But more than likely, you're not going to do it unless you find someone who's already done the thing you want to do.
Or is about to,
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, so she hasn't run a marathon yet?
It's next week.
But she's going to.
Yes, this is her first marathon.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, I don't know, it's like if you want to do something, let's say your goal is to be more active, find someone who's already successful in doing that.
Yes.
And yeah, tag along. I mean, they're probably passionate. If they're already doing it, they're probably passionate about it. They're probably more than happy to share about it.
Have you ever heard that like the 5 closest people to you reflect the most on you?
Yes, we talked about this in an episode before.
Okay, it rang kind of a bell. But I would say like I've always been, I won't say always, within the last few years, I've been like a very like heavy runner.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe this is overstepping, but I feel like that influenced Mason to start the family 5K group and the fact that he got a Garmin and
totally.
And so like then you got into it and Julia
Yes.
came and now me and Jordan just ran this morning 5.5 miles. So like
you're like influencing people.
A little bit, yeah. But it's like when you
exciting. It's not like I'm not viewing it. You're not like bragging or anything.
It wasn't even like I came to you guys and was like, let's run. It's more like me and Mason
organic.
Me and Mason had talked a couple times about like, oh my God, I ran this much today and it was hard.
Yes.
Or, like, this was my pace today. And then that kind of started the family 5K. And that's another thing, like you get to do it with the people around you, like the people you're close with, and you get to talk and you get to like do cute activities like grab coffee or breakfast after. Like it's so fun. Just find people who want to do the same activity as you or would be down to do it.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, just like you'll have so much more fun and you'll be so much more likely to stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that because it's a reminder that we are impacting people without meaning to. Mm-hmm. It's just an organic thing. Bailey said similar things about me and I never felt that way, but like whenever I first started eating a little bit better and like exercising more and just kind of getting into a healthy lifestyle and making that a forefront of my values, then it kind of did trickle down. And my accountability group right now, like I don't have that same virtual accountability group, but every morning you'll laugh at this message thread. We have a message thread called Sweating Good.
Oh, nice.
It's literally just like my mom and Julia and me and Jordan and Chloe.
Cute. Yeah.
And we just send our sweaty selfies or whatever. Yeah. And we send them in the morning. We say, oh, today I did leg day, or today I took the dogs on a walk.
That's how anyone with a Garmin, there's like an app that you can sync your activities to, and Strava does the same thing. Me and Marissa are always commenting on each other's runs, like, oh my God, you crushed this. I can't believe you ran this far. And it's just like motivating to know, like, okay, somebody's gonna see this later and they're gonna see that I killed it. Like,
legitimately.
It does add a lot to like the fun factor.
Yeah.
I would say too, your guys' volleyball, I didn't think about this.
Yeah.
First of all, sports are a great way to like have a like organized event to go to. Like it's like every Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever you guys play.
Tuesday, but
you guys play volleyball.
7 days.
It's a set time. Oh, yeah, that's true. Set time. It's a set group of people. Yeah. And you're doing something fun.
Yes.
And it's not as crazy as like running 10 miles or whatever, like you're having bursts of energy, but you get to like rest. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I think there's so many great free forms of activity, but like if you're paying for a volleyball team, you're less likely to bail.
It's the same thing with the gym membership too.
Yeah, gym membership. But that's how the body membership is. I think at this point, it was like $99 a year whenever I started. I think now it's like $129 a year or something. Still so cheap, like $10 a month, but just enough skin in the game to be like, I'm going to show up and actually utilize this. Yeah. So yeah, I did want to say, just because I went to try to find it, but the five friends around you, we talked about that. It was episode 19. We talked about, it was a Let's Get Deep episode, and we said, are your friends holding you back?
Yes.
And it was just an episode about...
I would say the 5 closest people to me are all pretty active.
Which is great. And honestly, when one person... there's a stat, I don't know what it is, but there's a stat about like when a sibling becomes active, there's a much more higher likelihood of this person becoming... And it goes the same the opposite way, like with obesity or whatever, like it goes the same way.
I would say that's like amplified times 10 when you're a twin. Like you're like,
yeah, oh yeah.
I know.
But there's different percentages for like a spouse, a friend, and a family member.
Oh, really?
Yes. Just based on, if once this person starts exercising, it just trickles down.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I think accountability is huge. That would be a huge tip that we would give for you. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What have we not talked about yet?
Recovery and local resources.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about recovery. You talk about that.
I will talk about this because I'm very passionate about this, and I feel like people don't take it as seriously as they should. And me included. I probably don't recover as much as I should. But let's say you start an activity. Maybe you like swimming or hiking or walking your dog 3 miles a day or whatever. It is important to give yourself and your body time to rest because I think, especially for runners who are training for something, it is so easy, or weightlifting, to overtrain. And you're going to do more harm to your body than good by doing that. Like, you do not want to start your first run running 5 miles at a 10-minute mile pace. That is just going to do more harm than good for you.
Well, you're probably going to quit.
Yeah, you're probably going to quit. It's probably going to make your knees and your feet and your ankles and your shins hurt, and you're never going to want to do it again. Like, even if that goes well and you complete it and you feel really good about it, like, you need to at least recover the next day. And you should be resting at least once a week. Yeah. Where you're doing very low impact activities like stretching, yoga, a short walk. Like, you should not be pushing your body to its limit every single day.
No, definitely not. A lot of research has come out about this, like, high intensity exercise and cardio and whatnot, because in the 90s, that was all you saw, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just saw all sorts of, the classes and stuff. And that's when people really started running for the first time, honestly, as sport, I get, not sport,
recreation.
But like recreation. Yeah. The opposite. But yeah. And so cardio, it was all cardio. That's why, like, our parents, I don't know if your mom's this way, but my mom, for the longest time, cardio, she thought, okay, I need to exercise. I need to do cardio.
You need to be like drenched in sweat or you're not having a good workout.
Yes, exactly. But recovery wasn't talked about as much. But now I always hear that 2 to 3 times a week of cardio is best. And then 2 to 3 times a week strength training is best. Like, and then having 1 to 2 days of recovery at least is good. And that, like, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be working the same muscle groups day after day after day because they need time to recover. So if you're running 5 miles on Monday, then your legs need time to recover.
I will say, like, for people who, I would say marathon training is pretty great. Okay, first of all, only like 1% of the population runs marathons, so you're kind of like already pushing your body. Like,
only 1% of the population runs marathons.
There's something like that. It's pretty. You're in an elite group if you run a marathon. I know, that's why it's so enticing. Yeah. But
so interesting.
So for a lot of people who are marathon,
are you saying America or the world?
I think America, maybe. I don't know. You can look it up.
I am. What percentage of the population of the American of America runs a marathon? Less than 1%.
There you go.
Holy smokes.
I'm telling you.
It says some sources estimate closer to 0.1%.
Yeah. It's really, people don't run marathon. It's hard. I mean, there's a reason why people don't.
I'm sure that it is.
But now you can join us next year. And
no, I feel like
you can
I have
be part
to.
of the 1%.
No, I feel like I have to.
I know.
I'm driven by numbers.
Exactly. You want to be part of the exclusive club.
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
For people that are marathon training, I was going to say, like, you often are working the same muscle groups and you're often running multiple days in a row. You do give yourself some time to recover. Obviously, weightlifting helps a lot with that because it helps, like, build. Strengthen. Yeah, it helps strengthen your knees and your ankles and your quads and your hamstring, all that. So it's important to, like, work lifting in there. But for runners who are running at this, like, elite level, like, running a marathon is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You have to have recovery runs, so you're usually running 2 to 3 minutes slower than maybe what your target pace is. Okay. You're running shorter runs in between your long runs. You're giving yourself time to rest. Also, like, hydration is super important no matter what you're doing. You need to be drinking lots of water. You need to have electrolytes. You should probably get a little bit of protein, maybe eat a banana to prevent the soreness. So, like, recovery is so important. There's so much that goes into it. But the most important thing is just, like, don't overexert yourself. You're going to damage your body, and that's going to be hard.
Yeah. And we're not focusing on nutrition in this, but it is important to nourish your body with the right things after, because I feel like you can eat, I don't know, you can eat whatever you want, but protein has amino acids in it that really help, especially when you're using those. I think is it type 2 muscle fibers that you use?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, never mind. The bigger muscle fibers. So there's bigger muscle fibers that you use whenever you, like, use your bigger muscles, and there's smaller muscle fibers that you use whenever you do things more like Pilates or, like, something like that, where it's, like, more small movements, but over a long amount of time. I think it's time under tension versus like max base reps, that sort of thing. So anyway, I wonder if in running that you may use both in running. I don't know. I haven't looked into that enough. But depending on like the muscle fibers that you're using, it's just important to get protein so that you are getting the amino acids to repair those.
You need to refuel your body. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's so important. I would say even like, I know this has been so much about running because that's what I'm into, but like when you run, it's really important to bring enough water to like, so you're staying hydrated, and B, like refueling is a big thing. So a lot of people will you need carbs and you need sugar and you need electrolytes when you're running. So people will do gummies, or they'll do like, they're called gels, but they're kind of like liquidy little packets, like almost like applesauce that you just shoot while you run.
Okay.
Because you will crash. Your blood sugar will crash. Everything will crash if you are running for longer than 5 miles and you're not refueling.
Interesting.
You'll hit a wall is what they call it.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah. So when you run a marathon, you have to plan like your refueling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since most of the listeners probably won't do that because it's less than 0.5% of the population.
Make sure you're taking rest days and stretch. Those are really important.
Yeah. I also think that when we were talking about incentives earlier, like even short-term incentives, like for instance, I'm a morning workout person, and that is solely because I used to try to work out after work. And by the time I get to work, I think it's more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing. But I get to the end of the day and I'm like, God, I'm mentally drained, or like this bad thing happened, or I'm annoyed at this person or whatever. And you know what? I'm skipping today.
That's funny. I'm the opposite. I'm like, I had a terrible day of work. I need to move my body, get all this like anxious energy out.
Yeah, I could see that now. Like now I walk after work, and so it's different. But when I was first starting, it worked so much better for me mentally to just like, I would get up just 30 minutes before normal, get up, go to the next room over where is my quote unquote gym. At the time it was my living room because it was my 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And go into the living room. Now it's like just the neighboring bedroom that has like our gym equipment in it. Go over there, turn on the TV, and like the first 10 minutes, I don't even really realize what I'm doing because I'm half asleep still.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the time, like I get it done. And then the fact that I've gotten my workout done already, I'm like, wow, I've already owned this day. I could go to sleep and I still did like the best thing that I could have for my body.
Yeah.
So I'm cool. But yeah, so it's just like a very empowering thing. So I will say that I feel like this is where I was getting at with the incentive thing. So I will say that when I first started, it was really nice. Like I had a really yummy, like chocolate muscle recover mousse type thing that I would eat right after I worked out. And I was always like, ooh, that sounds so good. I can't wait. And I would eat it right after, you know? So like maybe on Sunday you prep like a really yummy snack that has like some protein and fat in it or whatever. It's a recovery snack, but it's really tasty. I feel like there's so many good ones out there that I've made. And then after that, you get to have that. Or you like love bananas and you have a banana with peanut butter or like something like that right after. I feel like that's just like a short-term incentive.
I think what's fun, and it's not health related, but maybe this will help you if you're not somebody who's like, I will never crave a protein smoothie after my workout. I think like the $1 per whatever, so maybe it's $1 per hour or $1 per mile. Maybe you're like, okay, if I walk 1 mile every day this week, that'll pay for my $7 coffee. You know what I mean? $1 per mile. Or if you're like, if I do 30 miles this month, that's 1 mile every day, I could buy a new book. Yeah. Something like that. Like maybe it's just girl math, but if you calculate it out,
totally girl math.
If you calculate it out that way, that could be a fun way to like motivate and incentivize yourself too.
I like that a lot. Yeah. So that's a good key like tip or point, is that recovery is very important.
Yes.
I think our last thing we wanted to hit on was just about how many local resources that we have.
Yes.
So you've utilized this a lot too, I feel like, with running.
Yes. So our family 5K group, I think this is really fun, but we've met at a different place every single time. And sometimes it's close to me because I live in Lenexa, and sometimes it's close to you guys because you live in Blue Springs. So it just helps to like maybe break up some of the driving. But we also get to use the well-maintained parks that are around here and like the trails and like that, your tax dollars go to that. Like, you might as well use it. And you get out, you get to see the sun, you get to see some trees, we saw a snake. Did we see a snake one time? Me and Marissa saw a snake one time.
We saw a shit ton of snails on Little Blue.
We did see a lot of snails.
Yeah.
So you get to see like a little bit, I don't know. And there's usually other people out and you get to do the little runner wave to them and whatever. Yeah. So I would say like just, getting to see different parts of the city too is really interesting. Yes. I've been to way more parks and trails like in the last like month than I had my whole running history before that. Just like getting to do different run clubs. Also, run clubs are a great thing. You go on Facebook or just search whatever your city is run club.
Yeah.
Or walking club. I know a lot of moms have like, and a lot of people in Bumble BFF have like baby stroller walks. So they do. They meet up at a park and they get coffees beforehand, and then they walk around the park with their babies in the strollers. So
my friend Mandy in Chicago is a part of it's just called Girls Who Walk.
Yeah.
And they usually like go on a walk and then they like go get a drink after or something like that. So it's kind of a social club, but it's called Girls Who Walk. But yeah, this is a really good point. And on Facebook, I'm pretty sure there are like pickup volleyball clubs and stuff like that on or groups on Facebook as well. The other thing that is ringing a bell, so this happens a lot more in the summer, I've noticed, or like spring, summer, fall, is I'll see free outdoor yoga somewhere. Like the Nelson does that. But then also there was a instructor who was kind of going around. I'm kind of sad because they never landed on days that I could do them, but she was doing Scout Coffee. She was doing it. It was like every third Sunday or something like that. And just somehow it just never worked out. But she would do yoga at Scout Coffee, which our listeners have heard me talk about too many times. And then she was also doing the Fillmore Station, which is in Lee Summit. And then she was doing Colonial Gardens, which I did go to that one, but that one was paid. But there are like all sorts of free outdoor yoga, free indoor yoga, or $10 or something.
Yeah.
You can make into a social thing.
Grab your best friend, go get a coffee, and go walk around a park.
It's so nice.
Free. I mean, I guess the coffee's not free.
Yeah.
But it's cheap. Yeah. And I've done that with 2 of the girls I met from Bumble. So, and I'm meeting another girl for coffee tomorrow, and we're going to probably walk around nearby park.
Yeah.
So it's super easy, very low commitment, low stakes, but you're getting a little bit of movement in.
Yeah. Another resource I would say, too, kind of the last one that I'll mention that brought to mind is a lot of studios who have fitness classes and stuff are very expensive. And I've just never been able to stomach paying like $1,500 a year for a fitness studio. But there are ones like, for instance, I've gone to, it's hot yoga, Power Life. Power Life is in Kansas City. They're also in other states, but in Kansas City, they've got multiple locations. And they will have a few free classes a week. So I've signed up for those before whenever I'm like, I just kind of want to do something a little different. A heated class sounds fun. And look for them. And they'll have one at Lee Summit, or they'll have one in the downtown location or something like that.
Yeah. I would say Groupon and ClassPass will often do like, ClassPass right now is doing 1 month free. So you can try it out and like do a workout class or whatever.
Personally, don't forget to cancel it.
Yeah. I'm not a big class person because I just don't like large groups. But I know it's made
me a lot more nervous before I got into exercise. Like now I'm more comfortable with it, but I was so shy and nervous.
Like self-conscious?
Yes. Yeah. When I first started working out, I didn't even want that. That was also probably part of the reason that I did mornings was I didn't even really want Jared to see me working.
Really?
Out. And we had one bedroom and then the living room. So I was like, if I'm going to work out in the living room, I'm going to do it before he's awake.
That's funny.
No, just because of I'm self-conscious. Now I don't care. Like, and even then it only took like a couple weeks of being into it.
I kind of feel that. I did work out at home a little bit, and I would not want Cooper to watch me, but he watches me run sometimes. Like, I mean, he's just letting me run past or whatever, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I guess like last few points here. I would say we have some of the worst weather because we have hot summers and freezing winters. Yes. And so something that I like to do when it's like, especially when it's snowy and you can't run because you're going to slip and fall and break your leg, you can drop in at your local community center. First of all, community centers are great. And sometimes they can be pricey. Like ours is kind of pricey, but it's like state-of-the-art, brand new. It's like $500 for the year. So that's pretty pricey.
I don't know what ours is, but it was built last year. So I'm sure
it's probably expensive. Yeah. But what you can do is most places will do just like either fitness classes that you can buy a membership for, or you can do a day pass. Like for ours, it's like $9 to just drop in for the day. You can run on the track. You can swim in the pool. You can use the gym. You can rent the basketball court. Like there's so much stuff. There's so many resources at your disposal that are either free or cheap. Like I would say we have a tennis court in our neighborhood that we can go pick up as long as nobody's using it. We can go and play tennis, or like we've kicked a soccer ball around in a tennis ball court before too. Like it's really nothing too crazy. And in the summers, use your local pool. I know Bailey is a pro at using her pool.
Oh yeah, their neighborhood pool they were at a whole lot. I won't say that they were doing laps or anything though.
No, but it's good to still get some sun, I guess.
It totally is.
But yeah, even swimming is so great for your body because it's so low impact. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your joints.
Yeah.
It's really good for your muscles. So
I could see a lot of people, I have no evidence to support this. I could see a lot of runners who, once they get older and it's harder on their bodies, I could see them maybe turning to swimming because it's similar, as far as the cardio element of it, it's similar in that way, but it's easier on your joints.
Yeah, definitely. If we had like a pool in our backyard, I would swim all the time for recovery.
I could see it.
Cooper really loves swimming, but I'm trying to convince him to get a membership so he can swim at a pool, but I don't know if he will.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think that's everything. I'm going to real quick kind of recap some of what we said because we went through a lot of good stuff.
Oh, yeah. It was a
but
lot.
first things first, I would say find what is fun for you and figure out what matters and is motivating for you. Have a goal that is not related to weight loss. That would be like where I would say to start, and finding activity that is fun. Then find a routine that works for you. So whether that's before, after work, whatever is the most attainable, or, you know, whether that is outside, inside, in a fitness class or at a community center or at home, whatever works for you.
Yeah, I will say with that too, if you're somebody who has no clue where to start, there are so many like free apps, free plans on Pinterest, fitness influencers that will put out like a workout you can do at home, or maybe a run schedule, or, you know, whatever that you can at least, like, if you have absolutely no idea where you want to start, you have somewhere to start jumping off from. Yeah, definitely. And then habit stacking, we went all into that, but that's a huge tip. Accountability, finding a buddy, that's a huge tip. Focus on recovery, that is very important, and then using your local resources. So those were kind of the main things that we went through, and that's what we would encourage you guys to do if you are looking to start or stay active, especially going into the winter when it can be hard. Like right now it is fall and it's still hot, and so we maybe aren't thinking about how soon we're going to be holed up in the house. Yes. But it is important to start thinking about these things now. And if you guys need a buddy or need someone to cheer you on, we're probably both here for you. I mean, at least I am. I can't speak for Morgan, but we would be happy to cheer you on. And if you enjoyed this episode, if you are ready and geared to go, send it to someone that you want to start a workout routine with, or start a run club with, somebody you want to get coffees and walk with. Yeah, send your sweaty selfies to. Yes. Whatever. Please send it to them. We would love that. And otherwise, I at least will talk to you next week. Maybe Morgan will. I don't know yet. Oh yeah, we'll see. We will see you next week. Cheers.